Hello, hello! The doc is in, and today we are going to be going back to possibly the best manga to ever exist, ever! One Punch Man! Today we're checking out chapter 160. Once again, another chapter coming out. I believe it's been 2 weeks since the last one. I guess they're becoming more consistent with it. I don't know, but I'm loving my chapters as they come out. This chapter was another banger. The art's great and a lot happens. So, quick recap from last week. Basically, Garou has achieved his perfect fist. Sage Centipede, I always get that confused. Sage Centipede is dead, and Saitama is riding a warship in the middle of the ocean, and Melbat is out of the fight. These are basically all the things that happen. We see a little bit of Pigog, more likely. He seems like he's getting his bat back. My Mask is back in play, so he's not actually dead. And he seems like he's coming back to the battle, which we will see in this chapter. And that's effectively everything. That's everything that's been going on previously. So, without further ado, right into the chapter. So as I mentioned a second ago, first things first. We see the giant centipede split in half, looks pretty cool, and we see Amaya Mask basically react to it. He's like, dang, is everybody defeated? And as he's, walking back in with Melbat on his back, he sees, honestly, I can't remember this monster's name, but basically the little trio that we had going on from a while ago with Flashy Flash, Saitama, and that monster girl. Basically, she's checking up on Flashy Flash. She's like, hey, are you dead? Like, you need to get up. We need to get out of here. And My Mask sees this, and he's like, is that monster trying to kill Flashy Flash? She could get done up. And he pulls up, and he's ready to literally kill her. Like, he's about to get splattered. But then, by a sense of fate, Saitama and his giant warship comes in between them, and basically just stops My Mask from killing her. Now, given this, not on purpose, this is all coincidental, as Saitama basically is just running this warship into the land. My Mask, Melbat, Flashy Flash, and Monster Girl are all split apart, obviously, because it's a giant warship that came in between them. So they're both all sent flying, and now the warship is heading towards King and everybody else, because everybody else meaning Fubuki, various injured, Tank Top Master, everybody's coming up behind King because they're like, gathering together, but that's also where the warship is heading towards. And King's quite literally losing his mind. And Tatsumaki's just like, hey, this is a new Blizzard group. Also, important detail, Tank Top Master is now fat, so this only gives more credence to the idea that the skinny guy was definitely Pig God and his fat was transferred over to Tank Top Master to heal him back to regular strength. When Fubuki comes in contact with King, she's basically like, oh, you saved my sister. And then she's like, oh shoot, my sister. And so she's just like, alright, I'm gonna give you some of my energy, I'm gonna heal you, etc., etc. And Fubuki's basically like, alright, if I can heal her back up, she could probably get up, and then she could save all of us with her telekinesis power since she's so overpowered and whatnot. So she's basically just trying to like figure out like who's giving up what to get Takemichi, getting confused with Tokyo Revengers right now, Tatsumaki back into play. And we go into a little mind meld with Tank Top Master. A lot of T people going on in these manga, okay? It's too many. Tank Top Master is basically like, Tatsumaki can't fall out of play until he has achieved the true power of Tank Top magic that can surpass her telekinesis. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's supposed to be foreshadowing. Like, it literally will surpass Tatsumaki at some point. But on the other hand, I'm like, that is the funniest, most nonsensical. Like, there's no world where this tank top magic, quote unquote, will ever surpass Tatsumaki. But this could be foreshadowing. I mean, this is One Punch Man. I could totally imagine that happening, where in some scenario Tatsumaki can't do something, and Tank Top Master of all people is the one to actually do the thing she can't do. Who knows? But basically, he's like, alright, I gotta save all these people. So he picks up everybody using Darkshine as like a base. And so basically, Tank Top Master is like, hey, King, I'm gonna throw you got everybody onto the ship. You go up there so you can catch everybody. And King's like, I'm gonna die. This is my last moments. But then he sees Saitama on top of the ship, and he's like, no, 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 nobody move. I'm gonna stop the ship, quote unquote. Really, you just mean Saitama's gonna stop the ship because he's just sitting there. Once again, coincidentally, Saitama then decides to stop the ship, and he just twists his body and literally swings the entire warship sideways and stops it. And then he just hops off, and then all the waves that basically came from Evil Natural Ocean dying and everything now crash against the warship and basically are stopped by the warship, which is, again, great strategy and everything by Saitama's part. But also, Jesus, did you have to cause so much collateral damage? And of course, everybody not knowing about Saitama and his greatness are just like, oh my god, King, you're such a great guy. You're so smart. We also coincidentally see, probably going back to like King's mysteriously super luck, with the warship stopping where they stopped, because of the fact that they were kind of like in line with where Sage Centipede's body was going to fall, the warship being stopped there stops the Sage Centipede body from falling on them, which is good. Everybody who's inside the boat, I mean, they're going through stuff, but, not relevant characters. But they're not out of the woods yet because, I mean, there is still a giant tsunami coming in. So even though from the front the waves have been stopped a little bit, the water is still coming in from other directions. And so then Fubui's basically like, we're not out of the water yet. Quote unquote. Is kind of ironic, but not ironic. Anyway. But then we have somebody running across the top of the CSNP body. And I'm like, originally I thought that was Tank Top Master. I thought maybe somehow he got on top or something. But actually, nope, it's Big God, and he's shown up running through the waves. And he comes in and he just eats everybody with his giant, like Kirby-esque mouth. He just devours everyone. And so he's swept away in the ocean currents, and I assume they're going to be fine. And then we come up to some pure hype. I didn't think we were coming to this point in the manga so soon. Well, so soon, I mean, technically it was supposed to happen a while ago, but seeing as they were adding more stuff, I was kind of like, okay, maybe we might get something else again. But nope, it's finally time. We start off with this beautiful panel, just a lot of scenery of Garou just standing out in the middle of, water / desert everywhere. The middle of the battlefield, alright? Things have changed a lot in the battlefield, but he's just standing there. Beautiful panel. And he's just thinking about, like, dang, what happens to the ocean guy? And Saitama pulls up with the squats. Because as I mentioned before, he's jumped off the battleship off somewhere, and I can only assume he came here to fight Garou, I guess kind of like presuming he's a monster or whatever. And so he pops up. And you got the serious face. And we got Garou's serious face. Garou's looking back behind him with his weird monster skin that's glowing and is looking cool as heck. And Saitama's just standing there. He's like, where are you supposed to be? And then the end of chapter. It was a great chapter, honestly. When I read it, a lot of funny bits. A lot of basically kind of like not concluding every character, but kind of tying up all the loose ends in terms of like other players that are supposed to be on the battlefield. And I can only presume that the next chapter is gonna be fight time. Battle's gonna begin. Maybe there might be like some more lead up to it. Like maybe we might just get like a quick scene, kind of like really tying up everything. So like Pig God kind of like gets everybody out of there, and maybe they're like, okay, well, we can't really kill anybody, so we're just gonna have to wait this out. Or maybe they might end up closer to the fight, and they'll be able to like see Saitama fighting, or something along those lines. I mean, who knows? Maybe Garou's still bound to like knock everybody else out on the battlefield, so that then most of them can't actually see Saitama win the fight. Ergo, show how strong he really is or anything like that. But either way, the fight is within reach, like very much within reach. There's no way we can go more than 2 chapters past this point. 2 chapters being max, like 2 more chapters of us not having the Saitama and Garou fight start is a lot of chapters to consider at this point. Now that they've like properly met, there's no more other players on the field or anything. Everybody else is either out or not within the power scale, unless you get like someone like really really strong. But there's no reason to have that. Flash is out, Metal Bat's out. Everybody else is either weakened or not in their proper state, or wouldn't even really be, or doesn't have any like type of scaling or anything to be on this level at this point. So I think Saitama versus Garou starts next chapter, and I'm excited. With that being said, thank you for watching the video. Leave a like if you like, leave a dislike if you dislike. Subscribe if you want to. Oh, I said that backwards. Comment if you want to. Subscribe if you're feeling generous. The doc is out. Peace.